Bitcoin on the 5-day Gaussian channel. We're going to check out a couple different charts today. We're going to look at, obviously, the 5-day Gaussian channel. We're going to look at some volume. We're going to look at the RSI, the stochastic RSI, and generally like some good targets that we need to be looking for to have a potential chance to get out of the woods, to get out of the devil downtrend. Self-dubbed devil downtrend. That's what we're going with, and let's get right to it. If you like the video today, give us a thumbs up. If you want more information, more content than what you see here on YouTube, follow us on Telegram, linked below. Let's get right to it. 5-day Gaussian channel, zooming in. We are holding support currently. Could we potentially lift back up here and at least test the median line on the 5-day Gaussian? Well, yeah, we certainly could. Let's go back in history and see what we've done. Just because we're down here doesn't mean we have to fall through. Could we fall through? Well, of course. But we're going to look at kind of both sides of the fence. Let's go with that. And let's go back in history and kind of look at what has happened interacting with the bottom of the Gaussian channel. So going back to 2019 December, we actually wicked right off of the bottom, if you see that there, and then we proceeded to go back up. Was this the bottom? Well, obviously not, but minus the black swan event, we've talked about this before, I think this probably was the bottom, right? If you take out, the thou shall not be named, we probably could have bottomed here, and we potentially could have, lined this up with this move right here, and we could have just moved right out of it after hitting the bottom. So that's where we are now. Do we have a potential chance to do that? Well, yeah. There's always a chance, right? Nothing's 100% certain in crypto. So a lot of people think we're going lower. A lot of people think we're getting ready to go up. Who's right or wrong? It's indifferent, right? You just look at the data, get your emotions out of your trading as much as possible, and focus on just the charts. So right now, looking at the 5-day Gaussian channel, we're holding nice support, right? That support is 37.4. I put out a poll on Twitter a couple days ago asking, what happens first. We are at 37K. So we had 3K up to 40K and 3K down. And I put the poll out. What happens first? 33K or 40K. And it was like almost 75% said 33K. So now I have a feeling if I made that poll again, we might get some different aspects. We are now $300 away from 40K. Just a couple days later. I even had some comments, some longtime followers, and if this is you, I'm sorry. But it said 100% moving to 33K. 100%. And my first comment, as soon as they put it, is trading and 100% do not go together. There is no guarantee ever in anything in trading. Remember that. Okay, so we're at 40K now? No, not yet. They could still be right. But, a couple $100 away after the 100% guarantee of we're definitely going down is case in point. Okay, so let's remove the Gaussian channel and just look at a naked chart here, just the price chart with the volume. And what do we notice here? Look at last week's volume green candle. What's significant about that? We haven't had this much volume in quite some time. How long? Since our last big move up, July, right? There's a green volume candle and a green volume candle. Until after that, we haven't had anything close to that until last week. That's significant. These are the things that you need to start watching for and paying attention. More volume than we've had in, 7 months is significant. Okay, so we need to pay attention. Could this be the bottom? Is the bottom in for Bitcoin? We don't know if it is, right? It could very well be, and you need to prepare yourself for that. Now, how would we know if we continue to uptrend? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's zoom in here, and let's look at in my book, where we need to clear and close above to start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, to start thinking we may have a chance to get out of the damn downtrend. So let's go look at it. Well, I would say the biggest level for me right now is to get over these. Why? Well, there's a previous local top here, resistance back in here in June of 2021, May and June, more resistance, and then it flipped to support. Usually when you have levels that are doing that, acting back and forth, switching, that's going to be a significant level. So if we can somehow be closing a 5-day or a weekly, we can go switch over to the weekly, right? Sometimes a little bit more clear cut. There you go. Same line, didn't change it right there. So that now is, yeah, 41.6. So I'd say if we can close above 42,000 on a weekly candle, doesn't mean it has to be this week. It could be any week, right? It could be a couple more weeks until we close above this with at least one weekly candle, and I would like 2 weekly candles closing above this. Then we might be able to pull something nice off to the upside. But until that happens, we could still be in this downtrend, right? We've had upside before. We've had not much, right? We haven't had any kind of rallies like we've had even back in May and June. I mean, look at these wicks, right? Down, then up 30%, and then back down 30%, and then back up 30%, and then back down 40%, right? We haven't had anything like that, right? It's just been basically down. We've just been getting hammered. However, I do like the weekly volume being the highest it's been and pretty much since the buyback in May after the drop in recovery. That was the highest weekly volume we've had in a substantial amount of time. Okay, so that's what I'd be focusing on. Now let's go look at our weekly RSI. We're way down here, right? We just made a new lower low over the past couple weeks, and let's get the zoom out and get the big picture, right? We've only been this low what, 3 times lower than this going back to 2015. That's pretty significant. Okay, so these are the times where you need to start thinking about bottoms and not we're going to continue to make new bottoms. This is a rare feat. It doesn't mean the bottom is in, but you know, it could very well be, and here's proof of that. It doesn't mean that we can't go lower, but I mean, just 3 times in the past 7 years is pretty significant level. Okay, let that just sink in a little bit. Okay, all right, let's go look at, how about the monthly? Let's go out to the monthly and see where we are. Well, there's the monthly again. Rare that Bitcoin is under this kind of 55 level on the monthly. Again, a couple times in history, bear markets, right? Summer bubbles burst and come back down here, but rare air that we're in now. So what I do like is look at going back to 2018, December 2018, a low, came down, make a higher low, and so far a higher low. We don't know if this is the low, but you know, I like what I see there on the biggest picture. So let's go look at the stochastic RSI on the monthly. Well, you got a little bit of data here, but let's go look at the BLX. It lets us look at more data. This is Bitcoin, same thing, just going back all of history. So what do we see here? This is pretty big picture here. We've only been down here twice, both times long bear markets, right? Are we going to be in it again? Sure, we could. Could we bounce from here? Sure, we could. There's always a first time for everything, right? And I want you to also look at this, right? So the first bear market, right? We only have these 2 previous data points. So if we had 37 of these data points, then we could have a little bit more reliable data. But we only have 2, so we got to go off 2. What can we extract out of these 2, right? It doesn't have to mean anything, but it could mean something. So let's look at how long. We're taking from the red to red, right? That's the average. So, just shy of 600 days down here before it broke back up, right? You see that? From here to here, okay? Now, how about the next bear market? Well, 2018 bear market, right? Well, these are rough, okay? You can't get your cursor that accurate. Okay, so let's, at the most, we're looking at, just shy of 400 days. So what do you notice about those 2 numbers? So far, they're shrinking. Around 600 days, around 400 days. So if we continue something similar, 6, 4, 2, maybe let's just go do some crazy speculation and guess 200 days. Where would that take us? Well, 200 days until we got out of it. Let's say roughly right in there. August? Chase, does that mean we're going to be going down until August? No, absolutely not. It's whenever we bounce like this. Look at this. See this bounce when we start getting the blue cross up? I mean, any kind of bounce, prices will follow. Okay, so we could bounce next month, right? If you look at this on March 1st, this will update. If you see a bounce, could be big time for Bitcoin. And we will see. We need to keep an eye on this. So as soon as this starts bouncing, prices can follow. However, the big movements, if once we cross back in this shaded area, I mean, every single time that it's done this, that's been the end of the bear market, and we're starting a new cycle back, a long time to the upside. Okay. 1, 2, again, only 2 data points, but anytime you have a monthly stochastic RSI cross, it's very bigly. So we'll see when that gets, but if we continue this pattern, right, only 2 data points, could be nothing. 600, 400, roughly 200. What if we did a little bit less than 200, like 180, right? If we did a month less. So then we're looking at summertime, before the big uptrend, right? Doesn't mean prices can't increase. Prices would very much start increasing very soon, right? It will know a lot more come March 1st. We'll see how this updates. We'll see where prices are. If Bitcoin's at 45K or higher or something like that, then yeah, I would say the bottom is probably in. If we see this bouncing back up, right, we'll have our signs. We'll have more signs. But, so far we're on the weekly chart. I would focus on the weekly, on the the week to week, and noticing that, look back here, right? So I would like to mirror something like this to the opposite, right? So we want to have something start coming up here, right? So work our way back up and kind of mirror this, and then or higher, right? I mean, I would love to mirror something like this and just kind of blast out of here. I know a lot of bears might not want that, but this could certainly happen. But worst case scenario, I would say something like this. So just a prolonged kind of build back up, just like we did down here, right? A mirror image of this would be okay in my book. I think I could take gradual price movements up through springtime, early summer, and then kind of explode going into the later half of 2022. I think we'd all take that. However, we need to be prepared that the bottom is in and we're getting ready to move now. I don't know if that's the odds. I'm just presenting the charts and saying that you need to be prepared for both. We need to be ready for more downside. You also need to be ready in case the bottom is already in and we're getting ready to go up. And if we start closing those weekly candles over 42K, you will start seeing more people come in. You'll see more volume. You need to pay attention to volume. Let's go back to Bitcoin charts, and we need to be watching this. If we have another, we still have 2.5 days or so until this weekly volume closes. But if we get up here again and we have another, pretty nice volume spike here, if this continues and prices go up and we somehow can close, in the 42K range, this will be very big. You need to start watching a lot of things. So until though, if we get rejected off of like 40, 41.5, 42, and then come back down, well, yeah, I would expect to make a lower low and go back to these low 30s, right? We'll take it a day at a time, a week at a time. Just wanted to start getting you ready for the possibility, at least. You need to be ready that the bottom could potentially already be in, okay? So crypto fear and greed index, we're still in extreme fear. We're now officially longer than this market, or longer than this extreme fear, right? We've officially extended the fear valley here. Fear valley, self-dubbed. So we need to get out of it. We'll see over the next coming days if we're going to do that. But pretty long streak to beat us up over. Thanks a lot, Bitcoin. The roots of all goodness lie in the soil of appreciation for goodness. The Dalai Lama. How nice. Quote of the day. Car of the day. Don't have one. Damn it. I got a new car, new model car, and I forgot it downstairs. So you'll have to see that tomorrow, because I don't, these are all just raw right off the tape. No editing, just me to you, you to me. Let it be. Let's do one. Here, I got one right by my desk. Just random car of the day. What do you got? Lamborghini Huracan Performante. They look great, but it doesn't have Lambo doors, so it could be a little frustrating to get one of these. But, privilege problems. My Lamborghini doesn't have Lambo doors. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Oh, I think I got a meme of the day here somewhere. There you go. All right, I'll see you later.